But who better than me? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to more Bass Talks. As always, please like and subscribe, share with a friend, a colleague, a relative, an associate, an enemy, any and all in between. It's appreciated. I managed to speak to Ben Shalom a little bit earlier, or I guess when you see this it will be yesterday. Always interesting. I don't get the opportunity very often, but when I do, I make the most of it. Shout out to Joe, because I told Joe it'd be like 3 minutes, but I think it ended up being closer to like 10. Although in my defense, you know, Ben likes to talk. He gives very long, detailed answers. I can't control that. That being said, I feel like while obviously I didn't maybe get into the the full crux of everything I'd want to talk about, I hope the questions I asked were at least came from a different perspective or slightly more interesting than some of the other stuff that has been asked of late. I don't really watch any of the other interviews anymore, so I've got no idea what hasn't been answered. But yeah, I think it was a pretty decent chat. Please take a look. Let me know what you think. This is Bass the Kid, the hardcore casual, and I'm lucky enough to be joined once again by Boxer CEO Ben Shalom. Ben, look, first things first, you don't seem to have an easy ride at the best of times, but was this one a little bit more difficult than usual?
Definitely. I think but when you're dealing with a partner that wants to make it as difficult as possible for you, they're going to. I think as soon as Queensbury were involved with Liam, having not been, we knew it was going to be difficult, and that's what it was from start to finish. But we're here now, and it's a massive fight on Sunday.
Now, you know, every time I speak to you, I like to give equal praise and criticism. This one, I will say, this is definitely the fight card of the weekend, not just domestically, but also internationally. How proud are you of how it's taken shape, all the matches on it, and basically sort of the momentum behind this event moving into the next one?
I think for me, it's one of the best cards that we've seen this year in this country, probably the biggest fight that's taken place in this country this year, and it's taken a world on its own. It's an unbelievable card. It starts with Bradley Goldsmith, goes with Elliot Well and Lucas Ballingall, which could be fight of the night. You've got Tyler Denny returning against Elvis, who just causes mayhem every time he comes. Fraser Clark returning against Tete is a great fight. Great to see Fraser back. Great opportunity to see where he's really at. And then really what could be fight of the night, Sam Higginson against Lee Cutler, which is just a war. So the main event's huge. The main event's going to grab all the headlines. It's the one breaking into the casual market. It's absolutely monstrous, and Ben Whitaker is when it comes to numbers, is quite phenomenal. So yeah, it's a massive card on Sunday, and I think the only card that people are talking about.
Talking about the undercard, you've got Tyler Denny and Fraser Clark on there. Both are very, very prominent boxer fighters. Both have been with you for quite a long time, and both are always up to deliver good events. That being said, both are coming off of stoppage defeats in the previous fights. How do you feel like their returns ultimately this time are going to be? How do you feel they're going to sort of do in these comeback fights? Because they're not necessarily the easiest of opponents to come back to.
It's definitely a resurgence, isn't it? Tyler, Fraser, Ben, a lot to prove. We wanted to make sure Tyler and Fraser both had fights that they will have to work hard for. Particularly Tyler's is a really tough fight. Elvis, very good fighter with a lot of notice now at his natural weight. Fraser's got a very good opponent, having seen what happened in October. So, look, for us, we don't want to mess around. They've been at a very good level. We don't want to take them back down. We want to have one fight at a very good level. If they can win that, then they're back in the big time. And so, both of them haven't got time to waste. Fraser Clark wants that British title that we believe he should have nicked in that first fight against Fabio Wardley. Now we have to get back there, and so this win and this performance will set him up for the winner, we believe, of TKV Adelaide, and then for Tyler Denny, get this win, and then we're back in the big time as well. And it's just great to see them back. Both big names, both doing big tickets. Fraser's very, very popular heavyweight, and he's going to be in some massive fights.
With Fraser specifically, especially with the injury as bad as it was, and him saying that he's actually suffered that injury previously, do you think that may play on his mind in this fight? Do you think he may be not so much scared to get hit, but more apprehensive if he does get caught with a shot?
Look, sometimes as a heavyweight, it's good to know what can happen if you switch off. And that's what I hope and I believe has happened. That's it. I think he's such a fighting man. He loves to scrap. He's never going to be overthinking too much, and that's what's got him to this point. But ultimately, it's a dangerous game, so you have to have your wits about you at all times. But I think he'll learn from it, and he's a very talented fighter, and we've not seen him reach the level so he's going to reach in the professional sport yet. So I think he's going to be a better fighter for it.
Moving to the main event, look, Ben Whittaker coming back, basically went radio silence, decided to tear up the team. He's brought Andy Lee into the camp. I've never heard anyone say a bad word about Andy Lee, from fighters to promoters, anyone. Do you think that's a plus on his side, whereby you've got someone that everyone universally respects? And do you feel like that's going to be something that really sort of switches him on for this fight?
I think for me personally, it was important that he went with a good person. You know, yes, Andy Lee's a very good trainer, but what Ben has to deal with from a profile point of view, from a noise point of view, is not normal. So for me, it was find someone that knows their shit, that he'll respect, he'll listen to, that has been there and done it and been a world champion, but also find someone that is a good person and can be a mentor to him as well, and a father figure that can help him go on this journey to the top, because it's going to be crazy. Look at the ups and downs of Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury. That's what's going to happen to Ben Whittaker, and you want someone in his corner that can help with that journey. And that's why I'm so delighted, so relieved, so relaxed with the choice of Andy Lee, and I think it's going to be a really, really good partnership.
You maintained from the start, when this clerical error, whatever it was, took place with the whole 12-round, 10-round thing, that it would be 10 rounds. You said several weeks ago, it's going to be 10 rounds, no problem. But the other team, Eddie Hearn as well, Frank Smith, Frank Warren, all of them said, well, look, it's 12 rounds to us. They drug it out. Did you always say and know to yourself, look, this is 10 rounds, they're just doing this for the media? Or was there a time when you actually thought, oh, this might actually be a problem now?
No, the former, it was for the media, and it was to try and make us look as stupid as possible. And at the end of the day, that was their job, and it worked, but it made a massive fight as well. It was always going to be 10 rounds. These things do happen, even though they say it's sometimes you have to see through the bullshit and realise this fight was always 10 rounds, and now we have a great fight on Sunday.
Liam Cameron obviously was close to... Some people feel the upset last time. Ben looked like he was starting to slow down, get a bit tired. He didn't really seem himself in the ring. Obviously, what happened. Do you think that this rematch gives Liam Cameron more confidence going in, or do you feel like Ben will look at it and say, well, look, I was that bad, and that's as good as you could do. You won't get any better?
I think it's that. I think Ben, just because his things have come so easy to him, I think it took something like that to really shake him into it. And so I'm really excited, because for Ben, but for everyone involved, because he now knows exactly what he's getting in the ring with, and he'll prepare to that degree. And he's preparing for this like it's a world title fight, and that's when we're going to see the best Ben Whittaker. Still early on in his career, people forget that the pressure within 9 fights is non-precedented. He is taking big tests early on, but yeah, he's going to make a big statement on Sunday.
Very last one from me. Tottenham Hotspur Stadium next weekend. You're big involved in that one. Chris Eubank Jr. versus Conor Benn. Just give me your thoughts on the card itself and how proud you are of the event and how it's taken shape.
Look, it's a massive event. We've got 3 big fights on there. Eubank, Chris Billam-Smith and Vidal Riley. And for me, Vidal's one of those fighters that could be the next headliner, could be the next star. He's got to prove that. I think he's going to beat Chev Clark quite comfortably, and it really will take him to another level. It's a great card. It's great to be promoting something like that. It's generational. It's something that you dream of when you start. Particularly for me, I think back only 7 years ago, helping out in halls in Manchester, to now being on the biggest stage. So it's probably one of those moments where you do look back and think, fair play. You've worked hard and you've done well.
Ben, I could talk to you forever, but unfortunately I know that you've got to go. Thank you very much for your time, and I look forward to speaking to you again.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it.
So yeah, look, as I said, Ben doesn't seem to get an easy ride. I guess sometimes that is of his own doing as well. But look, he's managed to get it over the line, and currently, I think, based on the UK schedule at least, this might be the best overall card that we've got this year thus far. Heavy Impact was supposed to be that, but obviously, a couple of the dropouts on that one maybe sort of curtailed that a bit. But time will tell. I guess we'll have to wait and see when the card's over, how the fights shape up and how they shape out, and then I guess we can see from there. But always interesting. I'll see if I can grab him after the card as well, little post-fight thoughts, and on to the next one. But with that being said, thank you very much for watching. Please don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and I'll catch you soon. Peace.